Hi guys, this is gsno.com and I'm here with the unboxing of the ASUS ZenFone 7 Pro. So they've done it again. They've put another flipping camera at the back of the phone. Actually a rotating camera, and the handset has been launched today. We have it here. It's time for the unboxing, and this is the flagship version. There's also the cheaper and a bit lower spec ZenFone 7. This is the Pro. Now at this moment when I'm unboxing the phone, I don't have the exact price, but I've heard that it should be around 599 euros. Okay, so first of all, inside the box we have this extra box which reveals the metal key used to access the slots, and surprise surprise, this is probably the first time that the big device maker is offering you two cases. We also have the user guide, and as I said before, there are two cases here. This is the regular one, which is transparent and has all the cutouts you need. And then we have the extra one, which is this one, and has a small latch so you can steady the camera so it won't flip. But let's not delay it any further. This is it. This is the flagship ZenFone 7 Pro. So this triple camera here is able to flip the top and become your selfie shooter. Now the reason I'm looking for the power button is the fact that it's flat and receded inside. It integrates the fingerprint scanner, and they've made a few upgrades. It's safe to say they have made a few upgrades. For example, they've switched to an AMOLED screen, and aside from that, the very powerful CPU inside is the Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 Plus. Okay, speaking of powerful, quite the brightness here. Toning it down a little bit, well, not this much. Okay, and let's go back to the unboxing. Now, aside from the two cases and the manual, we also have typical accessories, like this pretty hefty charger. It's quite large, about the same size as the ROG Phone 3, and it has an USB-C connector, and it promises to deliver 30 watts of charging. Okay, and finally, we have here the cable. It goes from USB-C to USB-C, nothing out of the ordinary. Okay, so when all said and done, I know there's one thing everybody wants to see, which is the flipping of the camera. First of all, let's see it from the front. Okay, and now let's see it from the back. Let's hope I can get it right. Come on. And that's how it does. So we have three cameras here, and this is a new mechanism, but before getting to that, let's take things one by one. Okay, so the device is available in a few hues. This one is the white one with a little shade of pink and blue, and we have Gorilla Glass 3 at the back side and Gorilla Glass 6 at the front side. There's a sturdy aluminum frame between them. I won't lie, this is quite the hefty phone, and when I say hefty, I'm talking about a weight of 230 grams, at the same time a thickness of 9.6 millimeters. The hues are Aurora Black and the Pastel White. Okay, now the screen you keep seeing here, and which I keep showing to you, this display, as I said before, it has become an AMOLED. So it's a 6.67-inch AMOLED with a Full HD Plus resolution and quite a few extra traits. For example, it has very narrow bezels, 92% screen to body ratio. Also, it has the 90 Hz refresh rate, which you're going to see in a minute here. Okay, so we have the refresh rate here. You can set it to auto, 90 Hz or 60 Hz. And aside from that, there's 20 Hz touch sampling rate, 1 millisecond response time, and once again, Gorilla Glass protection. Now, if you want more details about the device, there's always CPU-Z. It confirms the Qualcomm Snapdragon 865 Plus CPU inside, but we have more goodies. Okay, there's also an ad which appears with this app, scared us quite a bit. Come on, let's close it. Okay, so aside from the Snapdragon 865 Plus CPU, we have 8 gigs of RAM available here, and those 8 gigs are quality ones, LPDDR5. Aside from that, we also have 256 GB of storage, UFS 3.1, which are completed by microSD card slot. Now, once again, the fingerprint scanner is here embed it into the power button, and if I press with this finger, nothing happens. If I press with this one, as you can see, quite snappy and responsive. From what I know, we should have a stereo experience here. We should have stereo dynamic speakers with amplifier, which sounds like a blast, and triple microphones. I can see 2 of them here flanking the USB-C port, and I can also see one hidden here in this antenna cutout. Okay, and there may also be one here, so quite a few microphones are available at first sight. The battery is a 5000 mAh unit, and before we get into anything else, let's access our website. So ASUS is being pretty generous with the batteries. 5000 mAh on this one, 6000 mAh on the ROG phone from this year and the last year, and this battery also charges at 30 watts. Now, on the connectivity front, we're also getting top-notch stuff. When I say top-notch, I'm talking about the Wi-Fi 6 support, the 5G, Bluetooth 5.1, there is GPS dual band, NFC, Wi-Fi Direct, and once again, USB-C. Okay. Now it's time to talk about the camera. Obviously, there's no selfie camera here. We don't have a notch, we don't have a cutout, and the facade is kept symmetrical. Now, if you go to the back side, things get pretty interesting. Okay, so this is the back area, and I want to open up the mechanism. So let's see what happens. Okay, you have here an option to retract the camera. I think I'm going to go like this. Okay, so let's talk about this module. Now, this is a flip camera which hosts 3 sensors and the LED flash, and things have changed. They've changed quite a bit. There is a new motor in the mix which is more powerful and also faster. I suppose we still have the system where if I drop the phone, it retracts automatically. Also, this mechanism is made of liquid metal, which is something you don't see every day. Big companies are usually cheapskates when using liquid metal in phone parts. Now, aside from that, we have more durable motor, and this mechanism can take up to 35 kilograms of force, pushing it towards the front of the phone as if it were to break it. So if you push it with 35 kilos like this, well, it should break, but my advice is don't push it with such a large weight. It's also got 2.2 times more torque than the previous devices or motor. It's a stepper motor. It's got a lot of things going on. At the same time, it manages to have a less intricate system with less cogs, so to say. Okay, let's get to the actual camera. So the largest camera is the main one, 64 megapixel shooter with Sony IMX686 optical image stabilization f1.8. There's also the 12 megapixel camera, which is a Sony one as well, Sony IMX363. So 12 megapixel ultra wide camera, which helps you also take macros. It has a 113 degrees angle for ultra wide shots. And finally, the telephoto camera with optical image stabilization and 3x optical zoom. Now this one has an unknown resolution at the time. I suppose it's 8 megapixel. I'm going to look it up. Okay, another interesting thing is the fact that you can shoot 4K 120 frames per second video, so basically 4K slow motion. That's nice. And you can also use these 3 angles of, well, pulling out the camera. There's this one at 90 degrees, so you can take sort of like a tripod thingy. You can put the phone like this or hold it like this for improved capture. And there's this extra angle, so basically you can use it at 3 angles from the camera interface, and you can retract it when you're done. There's many more things to discover here and many more things to enjoy. The phone runs on Android 10 with Zen UI 7 on top. It also has Game Genie borrowed from the ROG phones, and it's a basically pretty stock interface which is pretty fluid, and it has some nifty extras related to the battery features and more, which we'll discover in the review. In the meantime, let's see how this case works, how this latch works. So okay, I'm putting the case on, I'm triggering the latch. Okay, and let's try and open the mechanism. The latch on the ASUS active case is locked. Please remember to unlock it before rotating the camera. Now, I'm tempted to press this button, but I won't. Or will I? Okay, so it actually knows the latch has been triggered and it will not let me do this. That's cute. Okay, so this is it, my first impression. It's a pretty heavy phone, but it's also packed to the brim with innovation and components. I'm curious about the camera results and its shots, and also the videos. It takes 8K video, by the way. This is a pretty comfy fingerprint scanner, and I look forward to playing some games on this rather immersive and symmetrical screen. So this has been the unboxing and first impressions about the ASUS ZenFone 7 Pro right here at gsn.com. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back with a full review soon. Bye bye.